Fanboy Modeling School. Hello and welcome to the Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Fat Mantis, now in HD. I'm here with my man,
Steve, real name, no gimmicks, also in HD. What's going on, my good brother?
You are the co-host of Kings, my man.
Co-host indeed. Co-host indeed.
Thank you for taking this very straight and totally normal internet quest with me.
Oh, yeah, no problem, man. Hedro life partners for life.
Yeah, that's what's up. So here's what it is. We don't have a lot of segments tonight, but we here on Riz Radio, the Fanboy Modeling School, we've got some zingers for you, some big, top-notch, real discussion topics. I actually technically got in trouble at work for discussing one of them with coworkers. This is going to be golden. I love it. I know you love it. What does my man Steve feel about it?
Which topic is it? Which topic?
It is the Grammys, and my opinion about a certain winner.
Oh, so you weren't feeling the fact that CeCe Winans won Best Gospel. Gotcha. Yeah.
I accidentally, I'm a remote worker, so we talk in Slack, and in the random channel, I was talking about how a certain person didn't deserve what they had to say. Apparently, there are a lot of members of the Beehive in there. Somebody who didn't know me, doesn't know me in the real world.
Right.
Called me a racist.
At work?
Yes. My other coworkers clarified to them why that's an absurd idea. But it was colorful, so I was like, we got to talk about it on the Fanboy Modeling School.
Wait, was the person that called you a racist black themselves?
Or? No, they were a white person from Montana.
Yes.
What it is? That's what racism was built for. Racism was built so white people could pull it out. It's their ace in the card to attack anybody, even people of color.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
It exemplifies the true use of the word racism. Courtney Monroe, welcome to the stream. Thank you, brother. We've also got the Pink Princess over here.
What's up?
Hashtag fangirls for fanboys.
That's right. Thank you, Bex, for the support. Thank you, Courtney. Real name tonight. Hey, coming out with the real gimmicks. No gimmicks at all. Yo, before we get into it, Fanboy Modeling School, RizRadio.com, Riz Radio Live 365. Catch the replays of these shows segmented so you can have fun and listen to us.
You can listen to our crazy ideas in between a combination of the hottest tracks that are out today, plus new independent music that you can only catch on Riz Radio. We are the music revolution. It is happening right here, right now. You're part of it.
That's true. Independent radio with the music you love. Hey, real quick, man, we got to send a sad, deep condolences. Irv Gotti, pioneer, creator of one of the most strange but iconic periods in hip-hop, the Murder Inc. hip-hop, right?
Yeah. Oh, man. This is
passed away yesterday. He was in the hospital, had a stroke, and then it leaked that he was unresponsive, and then he was declared sometime this morning or last night. I do not know for sure, but I've had a lot of things to say about Irv and the Murder Inc. team over the years, but none of them were me wishing death on him. Now, I have listened to music that has wished death on him, but
Right.
this is a serious thing. So my heart goes out to his family. You know, he was a dad, and I believe he was still a husband. So, you know, prayers and condolences to his whole clan over there.
1,000%. And you know, not only did some people wish him death, a certain rapper celebrated his death in like an Instagram post.
Yeah, 50 is an animal.
Animal status.
And like not even troll. Like he is the man's an animal. He literally posted, if I have it correct, oh man, I was really looking forward to them watching my new show. I'm like,
next to, that's right, he had a tombstone saying Riff sitting next to him in the picture.
oh.
So, like,
I mean, but not to be fair, but to give you the whole story, 50 has said, hey man, these guys tried to have me killed. It will never be all good.
okay, you know, and I'm not sure if I understood the beef to be that serious.
Say again?
I didn't know the beef was that serious.
Oh yeah, the beef is real. This is not Kendrick Lamar, Drake stuff. This is 50 got shot up, stabbed, you know. It's as real as it gets. And yeah.
Okay, then you know, looking on it now I'm seeing it from that angle. I want, because you know what kind of an animal the mantis can be.
Yes, I do know.
Like, so do you think if someone tried to have me or my family whacked, you think that I'm going to be kind on their death day?
Maybe in public you will be, but I already know what's going to be happening in the background. Like if you send a dearly departed condolence, I would have assumed you desecrated some part of your enemy's gravestone prior to that, and you're like sobering up from doing that.
Yes, there are many bodily fluids that can fall on their casket, and but you know what? We shouldn't talk about that aspect right now. Rest in peace, Irv Gotti.
Rest in peace, Irv Gotti, man. Give him the horn.
Yo, Shaolin says, "Damn, Irv died." That's crazy. I didn't hear anything. Yeah, no, he died. And you know what is the crazier thing? And this is why I honestly think that the government is trying to kill black people.
Oh,
okay, you know why? Because why so young? A stroke, he was like 54 or something like that.
Right.
That is young to be dying of a stroke.
Bro, and that's why this part of our age in the 40 years for myself, I know you're a young, ripe 29-year-old, but for me in my 40s, it's all about switching up the diet, putting the booze down, you know, eating green things, taking long walks in the cold.
I hate green things. Unless they're Gamora, I do not like a green thing. But no, I hear you, man. That is we do have to switch it up, because I'm saying too many black, you know, we see it because what it is we publicly mourn the celebrities, right? Too many black male celebrities die at young ages. And I'm not even talking about violence.
Right.
This isn't like the 80s when everything was violent. I was saying they just die like a stroke, heart attack, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, man. Young.
Bro, and even if you're taking care of yourself, look at Jamie Foxx. Or if that is Jamie Foxx.
Oh, you believe that conspiracy?
I don't know if I believe it. I just know it's a conspiracy. So, you know, it's my job to report on it. I am the keeper of the madness, right?
Well, honestly, the conspiracy I follow is the conspiracy from the joke he made after he was out of the hospital. He said, looks like Diddy tried to do away with me. And this was before the Diddy police situation.
See, that's what I'm talking about, man. People are letting that Illuminati stuff slip. Yeah, man. Irv Gotti, fare thee well, man, and all of that. Hey, man, I got an honorable mention for you, and I'm not just segueing from Irv Gotti because, you know, it's not that he doesn't count, but, you know, goodbye, and I'm sorry for his family's loss. Beck said we can't blame this on the man. That man probably wasn't taking care of himself. What up, Rogue Radio? You know who a little Brit with a beard by the name of Alex O'Connor is, by any chance?
I don't. What up, Rogue Radio? Welcome to the stream. I don't know.
Really don't know who Alex O'Connor is?
In reference to what, though? Maybe hearing what they do.
He's a content creator. He's called used to be called Cosmic Skeptic, is known for debating Christians, and therefore
I do know him.
So he was going to debate con, right? And he was supposed to be debating everyone's favorite Christian apologist and outright psychopath with the biggest heart and bravest backbone ever, David Wood, and they were going to be debating the deity of Christ, which is a strange topic for an atheist to be debating. And because of Islamic threats, Alex O'Connor backed out of DebateCon, and the threats weren't even at him; they were at David Wood. So let me set the stage for you here, big guy.
Please do.
People have said for a little while, and I've just come into it recently, that they noticed that Alex O'Connor is very outspoken in his criticism of the Old Testament and the New Testament and Christianity, right? I don't know what his views are on Judaism, but he's very outspoken in regards to his critique of Christianity. You know, he was the first one to make a video after the West Huff appearance on Joe Rogan. But someone pointed out, he never has any smoke for Islam. Now, you know where I stand on this. Right. A lot of atheists and a lot of liberals are terrified of Muslims. They're terrified to talk about that stuff.
Wait, do you think that's really the origin of that? You actually think that they're actually scared they're going to get physically harmed if they talk smack?
I think it's that, and they don't know what to do with it cognitively. They're like, brown person.
Right. I usually assign that, but I see liberals everywhere I go.
But they're also I think there's an element of them that are terrified because, Muslims will get at you. A Christian might give you a good wagging, good finger wagging, maybe go after your fiscally sound retirement fund. It's been a while since like Christians really wild out, or people pretending to be Christians, I should say. But yeah, people were calling him out for that. And they're saying, you've got all this smoke for Christians, but you're terrified of Muslims. And he said as much. He didn't say he was terrified. He was like, I believe there's less of a threat in regards to critiquing Christians than there is Islam, especially since he lives in your favorite place across the pond, Great Britain, right? Where
Christians also, real Christians turn the other cheek. So yeah, we're not going to firebomb your crib for saying something.
Right. Yeah. Only a psychopath. But so I have a video queued up, and I know we're not going full tilt tonight, but I did send you a video of David Wood talking about the situation. If you can get that ready and we can just watch a little bit of it. Have you ever watched the David Wood video?
I mean, once or twice, I'm not.
Let me tell you why I think you guys would make really good friends. David Wood is a nerd first and a thug second, and definitely a Christian above all of that, right? He has called out more keyboard jihadis, as he says. And one guy was like, if I ever see you in New York City, and the next clip is of David Wood going to the exact spot where the guy was supposed to meet him, and the guy wasn't there. But David Wood responded to this so well, and I thought it was just a great way to start this off, man, because I love when nerds attack other nerds, right?
I will start the video, but if you read the comments starting with Shaolin.
What is Shaolin saying? Shaolin said, hey, I swiped back, LOL. Damn, Irv died? That's crazy. I didn't hear anything. Beck says, yeah, he was wild for that, referring to 50 and his commentary on the demise and passing of Irv Gotti. Shaolin hits it with it's murder.
Murder. Yeah, you gotta hold it.
That's crazy. No, that's crazy. We can't be talking like that. Beck said that man probably wasn't taking care of himself. We can't blame this on the man.
She's kind of right, because it's funny, like DJ Unk passed the other day, and I too was in shock when I found out. They were like, oh, he didn't eat right and he drank all the time. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it'll kill you, Mantis, and it'll kill us that much quicker. And
but I drink all the time and I don't eat right.
Yeah, you're gonna die. But you're right with the Lord, so it's okay. You're just
exactly. Eternal life and all that.
Beck says there's a debate con. Yes, it's actually taking place in New Jersey. I was gonna hit Mantis up. I just found out about myself. I was like, we should go to this thing, man.
So you know what? As the other day, I was watching YouTube, and you know how I get YouTube commercials. Yeah. I saw the most ghetto, no, not ghetto, cheap. Let me put it like that. Yeah. Cheap commercial for DebateCon. It's just like this nerd being like, come to DebateCon, see me discuss blah blah blah, and he's listing all these people I've never heard of, and they look like other nerds, and it's like hard low res in graphics, and
It's perfect, man. It's absolutely perfect.
But then again, Comic-Con doesn't even have commercials, so
No, Comic-Con doesn't have commercials. Still, I still have not been to Comic-Con. D in the building. What's up, D?
D, what up? Yo, D, I like that the character.
Bex went
her anime character as her profile.
Bex says Jersey, Jersey, I'll pass. Bex, you know what? Hey, real quick, man. Bex sent a hard shot my way, trying to take a shot at New Yorkers, but we didn't go any deeper into it because I think Bex knew I shot one back across the bow. So I don't know if you know, there's a crazy woman that went to the Middle East somewhere, married some guy, and he ripped her off for some money, and now she refuses to leave.
Oh, yes. That's the fact that news people are covering this lady is insane.
Yeah, and until they pay her some money to get gone. And Bex is like, man, you New Yorkers, the audacity of you guys. But then I was like, Bex, you know that's not what this is about.
Yes. No, this is because we all know that a dude New Yorker who fell for that, because it's so stupid. She met someone online and went to have a relationship with them. What did she think was going to happen? But a guy who did that, he would not be doing any of this nonsense.
He'd be dead. I mean,
yeah. This is because she's a wildin'. Let's just face it. She's a chick.
She'd be dead. Yes, Jersey, certain areas of Jersey stink. That is true. It's not my home, so I'll just tell the truth about it. Smells horrible in certain parts of Jersey. Other parts are quite lovely. But in all, you know what I'm saying? It's Jersey, right? A couple of missiles.
It's Jersey.
Yeah, so what are we gonna do? It'd be one of those things where, like, are we going to war? Like, it's Jersey, you know what I'm saying? Let's just take over Canada. Let's get that thing going and say goodbye to New Jersey.
So we all know that my second Bible is How I Met Your Mother, right? So first is the Bible, has all the knowledge I need. The second, all the knowledge I need is on the show How I Met Your Mother, right?
Oh, okay.
And so there's an episode called We're Not From Around Here, and it's where Ted and Barney pretend that they are from Texas and they're rednecks in order to pick up New York women.
Nice.
And they're hanging out with these two New York women, and these girls are just idiots and don't seem to know anything about New York, and take them to a bad neighborhood and they get mugged and all these horrible things are happening. And at the end, the girls are like, let's just call it a day. Why don't you come back to our place? And they're like, okay. And they're like, we just have to jump on the PATH train. And Ted goes, the PATH train? And they're like, oh yeah, we live in New Jersey, but it's basically the same thing. And then Ted breaks his Southern accent and goes, I will do a lot of things to get laid, but I draw the line at going to New Jersey.
No, see, that's not a real story. Let me tell you something. Let's just keep it a band, man. You and I we have taken the PATH train. I've gone to the last stop on the 7 train. I've taken the Chinatown bus, the Boston on a whim at the potential and hope that coitus was in the future. You know what I'm saying? So
I've gone to other countries.
Yeah, you have. Israel. This man went to Israel.
I went to Israel to get laid. Yes. You heard that.
Sacrilege. Went to the Holy Land to make the beast with 2 backs. My gosh.
Jersey, no, not doing it.
Not doing it. All right, so there he is. There's David Wood, who is one of the, he's just an interesting character, and you can see his libraries thick back there. All types of books, but the guy's just hilarious, man. And can I give you a little bit more background on him? Did you know he's actually clinically diagnosed as a sociopath? The man
why are we watching this again?
No. This is real talk. The man doesn't experience the human.
No, I know what you're saying, but I'm saying why are we watching it sociopath?
That's why we're watching it. He doesn't experience emotions like you and I. I think he's the next step in evolution.
Okay, let's see what this guy's all about.
Was scheduled to debate one of the smartest atheists on the planet, the atheist formerly known as Cosmic Skeptic, Alex O'Connor, Great Britain's AOC. I was looking forward to debating Alex on whether Jesus claimed to be God. That was his choice for a topic. I thought it would be interesting because it's normally Muslims who like to debate that topic. Christians and atheists usually debate topics like, does God exist? So debating the claims of Christ with an atheist seemed like a good idea. Alas, it was not meant to be. Just 2 weeks before our debate, Alex backed out, as James from Modern Day Debate posted, "Dear all, due to concerns over Islamic extremism potentially threatening the safety of our upcoming DebateCon 5 conference, Alex O'Connor has decided not to attend. And after careful consideration, I've decided that DebateCon 5 will go ahead as planned. Islamic extremists will not stop this event from happening. We will have armed security on the premises at all times. They will not hesitate to swiftly handle any potential threats. Shortly, I will announce David Wood's new opponent. DebateCon 5 is still on February 15th in Newark, New Jersey. Tickets are here.
Look how close we are.
Since my new debate
It's pretty
opponent
close.
has just been confirmed, I think I can announce my opponent and the topic later in this video. James also requested, please do not attack Alex over his choice. I, James, was the one communicating with him over email.
So you know as well as I do, everything always gets a lot funnier when the Twitter comments start coming out, right?
Right.
So what's going to happen now is David's going to give a brief bit of humanity and why we shouldn't make fun of him and the risk of debates and debating certain religious groups, right? And then it's all going to switch because then Twitter's going to get involved if I sent you the right video, and it's absolutely crazy. So it's hit play. Bear with me for a little bit longer, big guy. Beck says,
and I take him at his word. We are on good terms, and there was no drama in this process. Instead of focusing on Alex, please help us get the word out about the event. I have mixed thoughts about Alex backing out of our debate. On the one hand, I have defended Alex's decision to avoid criticizing Islam. He's a young guy. He's easily recognizable. He lives in a country where critics of Islam are targeted not only by jihadis, but by their own government. If he doesn't want to talk about Islam, I understand completely. Other people in other places can criticize Islam. Alex doesn't need to put his life on the line. On the other hand, agreeing to do a debate and then backing out 2 weeks before the debate is pretty messed up, especially when there's a ton of security and you're not the one being threatened. Not only was Alex not being threatened.
Okay, so believe it or not, this is insane. I'm not taking sides, but I'm going to play devil's advocate for the British man.
Oh, wow.
So him being in Britain is next level.
Right.
Because here's what it is. I'm sure he doesn't think. I assume he's not saying I'm going to go to this debate and someone's going to blow me up or kill me while I'm in America. No, what he's probably really worried about is he's going to go back to his home country and Arabs are going to target him. And what's going to happen is their government are not going to defend them, just like they haven't been defending women against grooming gangs, because they're scared of racism and there's an entire conspiracy, and these types of things will be allowed to happen. And he also said his government, it's true, the UK government locks up their own citizens for having opinions, apparently. It's like weird.
I knew this would get the juices going for you, man. Typically,
my juices are going.
Whoa, take it easy, man. Put that
yeah, that was even I would say that's pretty mowed out. What I just said, right? but the point is, I do kind of see his fear, but only because he lives in a crappy country.
Yeah, no, and listen, man. Again, I think Beck said this once. Bex, you're gonna get quoted right now, Bex. Bex once said, "Not every fight is every black woman's fight," but that was a different topic, right? So this is the same thing. Alex O'Connor is not a black woman, but not every fight is everyone's fight, right? But I do think that the tenacity, and he's, I would say for a Brit, he has no fear of getting in there with Christians, but the consequences aren't as severe, and that's something I want to point out, right? Look at the world that's been created by the very thing that you are looking to depose, and look what's waiting for you on the other side. I said this once in Da Vinci's Discord when someone tagged me in this question. They were like, do you think we should debate Muslims? And I said, I think you guys are terrified to do that. I don't think you have what it takes, but let's let David Wood, sociopath, continue on.
Bex says, yeah, I said it.
He would have been the hero of Islamists everywhere for doing this debate.
Yeah.
He would have been attacking the divine nature of Jesus. Think about it. What do Islamists want atheists to do? Apart from converting to Islam and becoming the poster boys for dawah, what do Islamists want atheists to spend their time doing? They want atheists to attack Christianity for them. Islamists understand that Christianity is the only thing standing in their way in the West, which they've been trying to conquer for 14 centuries.
Reverse
If
crusade.
you're an atheist and you're attacking Christianity, they're not coming after you. They will absolutely love you.
That's actually a good point.
Why would Alex be worried about an attack when he's doing exactly what jihadis want him to do? Alex is an important asset to them. He's helping them. Why would he think he's in danger from jihadis when he's doing their work for them? I guess he could be thinking, well, what if they blow up the hotel? But that seems pretty silly. If a jihadi had that kind of firepower in Newark, just a stone's throw from New York City, you probably have some different targets in mind.
Right.
But we can't
More high
control
profile.
how careful Alex wants to be. Totally up to him. I really just have two main problems with backing out like this. One problem is that he left James scrambling to find another opponent on short notice. Not honoring your agreements and putting other people in this position is pretty messed up.
He's tight. He's secretly
My other
tight.
problem here is that this is just a horrible message to send to Islamists. The message people like Alex keep sending to Islamists is this: if you want to control our behavior, just threaten us and we'll obey you. That's a terrible message because it encourages more threats and more violence.
I want to get the
When you tell
Mantis
Islamists
I want to get
the way to get what they want is through violence, I think you bear some of the responsibility when they keep using violence as a tool. It's extremely dangerous to encourage people to use threats and violence to get what they want.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a really good point. What he's saying is like an absolute good point. We can't back down. We can't. You certainly shouldn't. Yeah, it's like not going to the Super Bowl because you're scared of terrorism or something.
Yeah,
right?
And here's okay. Bear with me with some heavy-handed symbolism right here, right? Also, it gives credence to the entire thing, right? The threat of a Christian militia group doing something would garner such a response in America that you'd have every blue-haired, you know what?
Yes.
Ready to burn down every church, including the black ones and the brown ones and the yellow ones, right? Just to make sure the potential of a Christian speaking out at something or threatening something didn't happen, right?
Mhm.
And here you have a situation where, and I get it, it's scary, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be scared of real life consequences. I'm a proponent of that. You say stuff, things are gonna happen, right? But at the same time,
you love consequences.
I enforce my own consequences. But at the same time, man, David Wood's correct, man. It's like the threat wasn't towards you. You give into this and it gives credence to it. And then you also help the next part of this echo chamber when they say, no, it's a religion of peace. No, it's a religion of peace. It had to be some fringe group. And it's like, okay, well, speak out against your fringe group, right? Why don't you send us some security guards as well? But at any rate, I just wanted to see what you thought about that. Debate Con now changed. David Wood does have a new opponent. I was looking forward to this. David Wood is the type of guy you should put in a debate. He is well-read, well-researched, does not give into emotionalism. So that's you can only have one type of debate with him.
What days are it's called Debate Con?
Yeah.
You have to admit that's funny. You have to admit that's funny.
It's hilarious. I believe they said it's February 14th.
It's on Valentine's Day. It's on Valentine's Day weekend. Okay.
Mantis is desperately trying to get me to hang out with him on Valentine's. I'm just not happening.
Well, for starters, we're hanging out on the 13th, correct?
We're going to see that movie together on the 14th.
No, the 13th, bro.
We're going to see it with each other, and we're going to sit right next to each other.
I just think it's funny that the nerds, the debate nerds, don't have anything to do on Valentine's Day. So they're like, we could have a debate con that weekend, not doing anything. And then the other guy's like, we're not doing anything either.
We'll blow it up. We'll blow the whole thing up. Why do you hate nerds so much, man? What is your thing against nerds?
Okay, so I'll tell you. I'm going to be extremely real about this. So, believe it or not, and I guess people who are regular fans, the type of people who hang out in our chat, know that I am indeed a nerd. But the thing is that when I was a kid, I at least knew enough to hide it
Right.
from social circles or popular kids. You don't go around and you meet a girl and you're 14 and the first thing you start talking about is Star Wars. I had the sense to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Or
right.
like, I had the sense. Well, you know what it is? I am naturally big, so there are certain sports I gravitate to. But I'm just saying, I knew like you got to put in a little sports hustle occasionally. You can't be, you can't be running your mouth as a nerd and be a 78 pounds soaking wet and not being able to like pitch a baseball. And what I'm saying is, if these nerds put in a little effort, they could just. They could live it all. You know what I mean? They could have a dual identity. Be a nerd when you're in the basement with your friends playing D&D, pretending you're an elf. and be the man at school, right? Have a normal conversation. Look a human in the eyes.
Stop sweating.
And so when I see an actual nerd, it triggers me. I look at them as a weaker, more pathetic version of me.
Did you say it? Did you dehumanize them?
Yes, I did. Because we all know they're incels. We all know it. Right? So, like, I just look at them and I'm like, you're so disgusting. You make me sick. Why would I defend you? Why? So, I have serious issues with these nerds. They can basically put it away, man. Put it away. And that's what take on nerds, yo. That's what take on.
D says Mantis was a balanced nerd. And isn't being a nerd acceptable nowadays? It is acceptable to be a nerd nowadays.
It is.
And that also
I don't think there's nerds of nerds. Like, I think these guys are nerds of nerds.
Who?
The debate con guys. I think nerds beat them up.
No, here's the thing, man. Well, not David Wood. I'm telling you, wrong guy to run up on. He's gonna be like, I'm not gonna feel anything when I kill you. I just want you to know that. It's gonna be the same thing as eating a peanut butter jelly sandwich to me. Like, it's gonna happen. These are like learned people, man. These are theologians, philosophers, man. Well read. They went to school for an inordinate amount of time, so that means they're very important. All right. I only went to school for 2 years. These guys went to school for like 6-8 years, man.
I know. Like, what's wrong with them? Because here's what I'm saying. So let's talk about like the jock of nerds, right? So Wes Huff, right? So he clearly works out all the time and all these things like that and stuff. However, when he talks,
sounds like an old woman sometimes. He's like,
he's like going, and I'm like, yo, bro. But you know what? Here's what it is. But he is married. He works kids. Out. Yeah. He has kids. You can tell that he had enough social sense to know when to act normal.
Also, he's got a kind of a mean streak in him too. You ever notice that? Like he puts that Canadian syrup down and he'll be like, "No, that's not what it means." And like,
look, Canadians are secret jerks. They're real savages underneath this hockey and politeness garbage. Bro, I mean, hockey itself is a violent ass sport.
Yo, George St. Pierre is from Quebec.
I believe it. I absolutely believe it. I think it's all an act that they do for foreigners, pretending they're all polite and stuff. But I think Canadians are the biggest jerks ever.
And once we bring them into the Borg-like fold of the warm embrace of America to finally abandon all their sensibilities, they'll truly let their freak flag fly. Don't you agree?
So Beck says, are you encouraging nerds to hide their nerdom? I am. Here's what it is. You know how you have to wait a certain number of months before you tell the girl you're dating the weird thing about yourself?
Yeah.
You know, like, or let's say bedroom stuff. You have that weird bedroom thing you're into. You don't break that out on the first date. You wait a while.
No, you tell it right then and there. You're like, I to be a cat.
And that's all I'm asking nerds to do. I'm like, you do not have to be super nerdy off the bat. A girl walks in the room, you do not start talking about anime.
What if she's an anime chick?
Chill. I mean, maybe if that's the tactic. If she's in cosplay, then go for it. But other than that, you have no excuse.
So you're talking about in polite society, you're out at a bar with your friends, like a pub, and unless you've gotten some indication that these are other nerds, the first thing you shouldn't lead with is, Yu-Gi-Oh!
And so that's why these nerds, they out themselves.
Yeah.
And like within the 5 minutes of meeting somebody who's gonna make fun of them, you can always tell who the bullies are. And so they meet the quarterback of the football team, and he walks into the room, and the first thing they say, and they're like, "Hey, blah blah blah, physics." I'm like, "Yo, bro, you just asked for your ass whooping. You just asked for it."
Bex says nerds are may the force be with you. Geeks are, according to my calculation, the force is equal to the Demeter of God.
that is a much better imitation of a nerd than I did. So thank you. What's the difference between a nerd and a geek? Okay,
let's just line it out for you. That was perfect.
Yeah,
that's perfect. What? No, you give your definition. I'm sorry, brother.
Okay, so here's what it is. Nerd. So here's my understanding of it. A nerd is smart, so that's why he doesn't fit in, right? You either study too much or you're naturally smart, and that's what gets in the way of your social interactions. Geeks are just weird. Geeks can't even, a geek is a nerd who fails his classes. And at that point, you're like, oh man, life is gonna be rough for you. You're a nerd who's bad at math. Okay, great.
Oh, you can see Mantis was secretly a treacherous film nerd, theater nerd. Like I can see geeks coming up to you thinking they had a friend in you publicly. You're like, get away from me, you freaking pervert.
Yo, so I gotta say there is a secret hidden guilt in me. This is why I'm so hostile about it. Well, I'm hostile about a lot of things, but I'm super hostile about it because it is true. Here's what it is. I didn't go to bat for nerds growing up.
Yeah.
Because when they were like, get the nerd, I'm like, yeah, get him. Get him. And they're like, because I would pass. And so I'm just like, I'm staying over here on the safe side.
Yeah.
You enjoy your thrashing, you little punk. And then maybe you'll learn. But I think I might have some guilt that I let so many nerds take an ass beating, or sometimes I may have engaged in the mockery.
You're crying while you're kicking.
I'm like, look at this nerd.
Taste these New Balances. Bow, bow.
There are some nerds out there. A couple of nerds who probably I'm on their kill list when they ever snap.
For sure.
Yeah. So.
There are a couple of stories from the Haven where nerds may have come around with their girlfriends, and there's a song that came out, I want to say about 8 years ago, that goes by. Well, the song is called "Your HOE Will Get Slayed." Don't bring your girl around the slums. Your girl will get slayed. Your girl will get slayed. And the song is really a breakdown of a warning, right? It's a warning from a very well-read prophet explaining to another man that's about to walk into a dangerous scenario, like, hey, if you do in fact care about this young lady that you're bringing to this social gathering and you have an emotional connection, don't bring her here, because there's some dragons in this house. And
right. No, right. Yeah, I feel you.
No, it's a deep song.
And if we weren't on YouTube right now, we would play that song. She said Vex says revenge of the nerds. Yeah, they might get the revenge. It's like
out from asthma attacks running towards you. Like they just revert back to their pain. You just only have to bring back their trauma. You know that, right? Even if the person is a black belt now, right? You're not trying to beat them in the fight, Mantis. I can help you win the scenario. You want to pull at the trauma you instilled in them. So when they start running at you, it's like, whoa, let's talk about it, man. And you lull them into a false sense of security and start breaking them down mentally. Like, look, man, I didn't know they were going to do that to you in the bathroom that time, right? I didn't know how sexual that beating was going to turn.
No. What you do, and you're wrong right now because you're making an apology. What you do is you immediately assert yourself as the alpha and start reminding them of the loser they were when they were young.
Listen to me. No, that's what you do if you want to go to prison and you want to lose social capital. What you do is, right, you start appealing to what happened. It's not an apology. You remind them of the trauma. Like, I know how much it must have haunted you. A wedgie every day for an entire school year.
But then you say because you deserved it. You were born on a dirt floor and a woman won't touch your dick unless you pay her. because deep down inside, you're that loser from 8th grade. You know it and I know it. Now give me your lunch money.
As they're
Grab his
strangling
fanny pack away.
They're strangling you to death.
And he'll drop that sniper rifle immediately.
That is crazy. It got really dark.
Speaking of nerds,
Yeah.
I think this is a perfect time to break out some Fan 4.
Oh, Fantastic Four, man. What'd you think of the trailer?
The Fantastic Four trailer. I went through an emotional roller coaster through this because I love it that I'm such a nerd that I don't have short answers to these things. Everyone's like, "Well, what did you think?" And I'm like, "Well,
Wow.
so here's the long story of it."
Yeah.
First came out, I was like disappointed about certain things. One of them is I think they didn't show me enough, and I was like, "Well, I'm underwhelmed right now. What's up with that? What's up with that?" But then I kept watching it throughout the day, and it kept haunting me. And I realized at first I thought Superman was a better trailer.
You
right?
said that. I saw you said that. Yeah.
And now, by the end of the day, I thought it was the reverse. I appreciated that they didn't show me things
Yeah.
because I'm dying to see it.
Yeah. You thought you really enjoyed that girl that put out at the bar in the back by the peanut stands,
Yeah.
But then you realized you really wanted not for that to happen, and you wanted the young lady who had a little bit more decorum. So
Yes,
you've grown.
the ladies. You have to grow. You have to emotionally grow to want the lady and not the hoe.
Whoa. So here's what I enjoyed, man. And we were talking about this in the chat, man. This really reminds me of why all you freaking weirdos love the Fantastic Four. And I'm bought in. That's right. I'm bought in, man. They are Marvel's first family, right? It does remind you of a sensible time where adventures were full of hijinks and cosmic faring with a team that, let's be real, Mantis, should never survive any major conflict in the Marvel universe.
No, I absolutely agree with you. It is insane that those four ever won a fight,
right?
Let alone many fights. Right?
Like, it's crazy when they finally made their comeback after Johnny Storm died, and then after the whole Secret Wars thing, and Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm were in the building. He's like, "Do you think people will still be into us?" He's like, "We're timeless, Johnny." But I think Marvel has a hit on their hands here if they just stick to the few elements, which are make it family friendly, no narratives, and make it classical, and just let people enjoy. That's all you got to do to win this one. This is going to get the families there. This trailer was made for families, man. I can see white people standing in droves outside the theaters the way they should be for a Marvel movie, for this movie, man.
And so here's the thing. Before it starts, I want to say one thing. So a normal contributor of this channel and dude we usually love and think is just a great dude, Tyrone Magnus, in his review of this, he was adamantly against it. And one of the things he cited is he said it was woke. Now, I don't know if all our audience members have seen this trailer yet, but I want you to remember that. And I'm going to ask you that a question. Like, was he correct after we watch it?
Oh, my goodness.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7 on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming? Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. Okay. Is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious. I just want to add a little bit of zip. Okay?
No, that was a great moment to show.
It was.
Went up the first time. You couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here.
Okay,
Whatever
you're going to have
life
to break
throws
this
at
down
us,
to me.
we'll face it together.
Now, this trailer is a vibe. It is straight up a vibe.
Total vibe.
As a family.
Okay, help me understand, bro. What was woke about that?
What was woke about that? That was the least woke thing I've ever seen.
What did he say was woke about it? He had to.
He didn't give any explanation. He was just like, it looks like it's just more woke crap. And then he ends his review, and people are attacking him like crazy.
Really? Oh my goodness.
And he even said it on his next video about it. He's like, damn, a brother can't have his own opinion. You know, like everyone was coming at him. Shaolin says, what's woke about this trailer? Throw the damn word in the trash. Yes. I agree with him, because I'm going to say this, and once again, obviously it is my job to get offensive here, but this movie is so white that even the guy named Pedro was super white. Like that's the whitest you can make Pedro Pascal, right?
Bro, this is what you would call classic America right there. Nuclear family, man married to a woman, you know. I'm telling you, and like here's the thing that you have to understand, and I'm sorry if you express as any other gender or fluidity or anything like that. Some things are not for you, right? I am a black man, and I know that The Notebook was not made for me. So when I don't see black people in it, I don't get upset about that. I don't care, man. I watched the movie one time, and I was like, this was very, very sad. This is not the movie I thought it was going to be.
The Notebook. I love that movie. What? What? I can't have a human heart. I'm gonna be beating up nerds all damn day and making dick jokes. That's all the Mantis is. I can't have a romantic heart. I can't love a woman. I can't love a story that will make you cry, make you feel something to remind you that you're a human being.
Anyway, moving right along, bro. So some things just aren't for you. And that's when we all start to emotionally mature as a society, right? Maybe you might go see a movie that has nothing to do with your culture or your subculture or your way of thinking. Maybe you might learn something about someone else. And isn't that what true tolerance is about, Mantis? Learning about other people and then tolerating them.
That's what. Here's what I'm saying. I think that's the best policy. That's the '90s tolerance. Remember the '90s where all we had to do was expected to tolerate other people.
Just got to look at you and go, "Good morning, neighbor."
Right. The lowest love is tolerance, and that's what I think. That's what I think we should readjust society to. I don't need to affirm anything about you. I don't need to know about your culture. I don't need to celebrate your culture. You can celebrate your culture. I don't need to fucking celebrate shit. So, but I will tolerate you, and I think I should get rewarded or awarded, whatever word I'm looking for that tolerance.
Tolerance Thursdays, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like you secretly sicken me, but I didn't beat your ass. I deserve an award for that. I tolerate.
Right? A different type of affirmative action or infirmative action, however you want to put it. This trailer is amazing. I think it's a good trailer, man. And also, I want to say something right now, man. I want to get Shaolin's thoughts on this as well, man. I wish we could have had him up tonight. Is, I think this is the perfect reset point for Marvel. You could reboot the whole thing from here, man. And I want to throw this out there, man. So everyone loves A versus X, right? We all love A, whatever. Fantastic Four has gotten in the ring with the X-Men just as much.
Yes, I love that comic. I
would actually prefer seeing the X-Men come out of the Fantastic Four universe at this point. Wouldn't it be great?
Here's what it is. I don't care which universe they come from, but they need to get here already. But speaking of the Fantastic Four, they are just such an important part of Marvel. And you know what it is? Everyone kind of secretly hates on them, but the truth is I think people secretly love them. What it is people don't like to admit, because they're family oriented, that they're like, oh, they're not edgy like Wolverine. I can't admit to liking them.
Yeah, but Ben Grimm has had some of the best dialogue with Wolverine. They're an anchor type of situation, right? You could literally reboot here, my brother, because I agree with you 100%. You could reboot here. We can get Spider-Man in this universe, right? We can get Golden Age Marvel cracking from this point right here. Wouldn't that be great, man? Wouldn't
Well, you know what it is? I don't want them to take too much from this. I'm fine if just the Fan Four come from this universe. But I do hear you. They could theoretically fix a lot of Marvel issues by having other characters from this world
Bro, let me blow your mind, man.
Come
What
over.
if this movie came out at the advent of this new phase and then we got Kang? Don't you think a lot more things would have made sense? It would have been a perfect cool down for the Avengers. Just think about it. Fantastic Four leads us into Kang. You don't make an Ant-Man movie.
So I'm going to put you on. It's so funny that you're saying that because did you know? And
I
it totally makes sense, but because of delays in the way movie making is done, originally Fantastic Four was supposed to be the final movie in Phase 4.
Yeah.
And there was all these delays, who's casting, what's going on. And so it got super delayed. Look how late it is in the game, but it should have premiered a long time ago. And I think you're right. I think Kang and his relationship to the Fan 4 would have been more of a thing.
Yeah.
And it certainly doesn't help that Kang came first.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing with Dr. Doom, but I don't want to think about Robert Downey, Dr. Doom.
I don't want to think about that at all.
But I will say this. I'm excited. Pedro Pascal is such a good actor. Even though he usually plays tough guys, I totally believe him, even in that one moment. He was talking to the reporter that he's the world's smartest man.
Yeah, man. It's I had a lot of fears and a lot of critiques for this movie in my head, and some I've shared publicly. But I'm allowed to reverse my position. Like, never mind. I'm not going to finish that joke. I'm still keeping it very, very PG. If you haven't noticed, but I think this is going to be good, man. This is a movie. I'm gonna take my kid to see it. We're gonna have a good time. All they got to do is not do anything stupid, and that's exactly what I tell my kids when they leave the house in the morning. They're like, "Dad, what do I have to do to succeed today?" I'm like, "Look me in the eyes. I want you to look me in the eyes, sons. All you got to do is not do anything stupid. It's that simple." And they're like, "What do you mean, Father?" I'm like, "Allow me to impart upon you the greatest bit of wisdom you'll ever have. When you think about doing something stupid, don't do it.
Do the opposite." But you know what it is? It's I learned this. Obviously, you know this already as being a father, but I've learned this from teaching Sunday school and teaching these kids. They're creatures of instinct, and when we think about it, when we were young, we don't realize that all our stupid crap we were doing was being creatures of instinct. And so, I'm telling you, I'm in Sunday school with these kids, and they're like, "Yeah, I know to be X, Y, and Z. Be a good person. Don't be an ass. Don't fight. Don't beat people up." And then the next week, their mother will come up to me and they're like, "You wouldn't believe it. James was caught beating up a kid and he called him the F slur." And I'm like, but meanwhile, he's a sweet little kid inside my class, right? But it was so like something in the schoolyard triggered him to become this other thing, right? And so these kids, man, they don't know what they're doing. Like it's like Satan talks to them more efficiently or something.
Do my bidding.
He's like, yes, you could praise them for making that, or you could smash it to the ground. They choose to smash.
I just realized that Captain America comes out next week, and it's on a Thursday, so that I believe, that works, man. I get out of work early. We'll be heading to our usual movie spot to go see that.
Absolutely, and it'll be it's a week from today. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be awesome.
Right.
But it's funny. You know who Colton Ogburn is? He is on. He's on
the guy stuck in a TV.
Eternally stuck in the TV. He said it the other day on Screen Rants when they were talking about it. He said, "Yeah, I'm excited for Captain America, but Captain America seems like business as usual. This is a fresh start."
It is. That's what I'm telling you, man. That's what I'm telling you. Yo, the only thing I want to make this trailer even more insane is if you had Spider-Man swing through it. Spider-Man was made for the Fantastic Four. They were made for each other, man.
Well, here's what I'm saying. I think the New York heroes are all meant to be in the New York heroes, and I don't include the Avengers. People are like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" The Avengers have moved around; they've been all over the place. They belong in the suburbs. They are not New York heroes. Okay, but I'm telling you, Spider-Man, his physician is Reed Richards. Yeah. He goes to the doctor and
all go to Reed Richards, man. They all go to Reed Richards.
Yeah, I was hoping. I kind of wished it was like this, but like, remember back in the day when there was like the early 2000s Spider-Man and early 2000s Daredevil, I was always hoping that they could just have a scene where Spidey thraps up to is looking at the city like over a building, right? And then suddenly Daredevil drops down and he's like, "Oh, what's up?" And they just have a conversation.
Yeah,
and then they move out for the rest of their day. I wish there were like things like that.
Bro, I'm drawing a blank right now. And that final crazy scene in X-Men 97, where you see Daredevil and he's fighting the robot people. Did they cameo Spider-Man at all in there? I know we saw Doctor Strange performing surgery, and we saw Daredevil and Cloak and Dagger, but did we see Spider-Man in there?
That's a good question. I don't recall, but there were a lot of they showed a lot of heroes in that montage.
It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. This is a great trailer, man. I kind of want to watch the Tyrann Magnus thing, but I don't. I'm just in a good mood, and I like Tyrann Magnus.
Right.
He's allowed to have his opinion. I just don't. If you can't articulate what's woke about it, then does he give us an idea of what's woke?
No, he said it. And to be honest, when I look at it, when I watch it again, I feel like he didn't mean to say woke. He was just insulting it, and the word woke comes out because he's so used to saying the word woke about everything. And I think that's what everybody is. I think right now there's some Gen Alpha kid right now being like, he doesn't like his sneakers. He's like, these sneakers are woke. And it's like, yo, kid Junior, you do not know what woke even means.
You don't know what that means at all.
Hey, Spidey was there. He showed up when Magneto cut the power. Okay.
All right.
I was actually, after this stream, I was gonna go rewatch that sequence to see what was going on. But so there's a lot of speculation. I think we assume that the Fantastic Four are going to end up in the MCU at the end of this movie.
Don't assume, because you thought that same thing with Daredevil and Deadpool and Wolverine, and
it didn't happen.
I think that almost ruined the movie for you. You were like, wait, so he's not in the MCU? And I'm like, well, bro, calm down. And the man just had the popcorn bucket. Like, I paid $75.
No, it didn't ruin the movie, but I do think like it was a bizarre choice.
Right. I think
because
it was an choice.
So here's what it is. It's so weird. Deadpool and Wolverine is such a great movie, but it's so weird that they essentially saved the Foxverse. Even though there aren't going to be any more movies in the Foxverse. So how did they save it? I mean, I'm lost.
No, they didn't save it. What they did was save themselves from. They managed.
They saved it from obliteration.
Then. No. Hear me out. So there's a thing with mergers, right? Or public endorsements. What they did was publicly associate themselves with the MCU and use all of that social capital without aligning themselves entirely to what's going wrong with the MCU. They poked fun at it and poked fun at a dead universe, but they're like, we're not quite ready to commit to socially being seen with you. We're going to make fun of you. And you should get this. You were just talking about nerds. It's like that nerd. You're like, yeah, we're cool. But when we're out together, know that when I'm riving you, it's, that's how
it's because I love you, man. But honestly, just like we can hang out when no one else is around. And it totally worked, right? Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are keeping it real. You know why I secretly think the reason was that for him? Because I don't think they wanted Wolverine to live, right? Because everyone loves him, but they weren't sure if Hugh was going to be the Wolverine,
right?
And I think they're still not sure. I hope he isn't. I love him, but I don't want,
I agree.
I don't, and I think they were like, well, we got to keep them around, so we're not sure yet, and so let's keep them in suspense.
Yeah, let's see what happens. This property here, though, man, probably something I'm the most excited for out of anything, right? Not excited for James Gunn's universe, but I am excited for Superman, right? Not really that excited for Captain America, more terrified than anything the closer we get to it. My curiosity is piqued with Thunderbolts. I'm hoping that's going to be, just a sleeper hit. Was very let down by this season of What If, but we're still moving in the right direction generally when it comes to comic media, right? We got a dope Superman trailer, we got a dope Fantastic Four trailer.
It's true. I think they're both going to be great movies. I think they're going to be a really good time. They're going to be good movies for different reasons, which is pretty great. But I think it's cool that they didn't show the full power of the Fantasticar.
Yeah.
They didn't show. You know what it is? They didn't show a lot of people's powers.
Yeah.
And so one thing I noticed: no stretching.
No stretching. That can make or break a trailer if that looks
right. Because if it looks weird, the audience is out.
Yeah.
They will start The jokes will be epic.
Epic. Yeah, you save that for the movie. You save that for absolutely lasting. Because, at the end of the day, like I said, the Fantastic Four. Okay, let me put it to you this way. Infinity War, when the doppelgangers came, do you remember who the first two heroes were to get assimilated?
No.
It was Iron Man and Reed Richards. They were the guys that lost their fights to their doppelgangers. I can't remember if the Human Torch did or not. I'm pretty sure he didn't. But Iron Man and frickin' Reed Richards.
Right. Well, because they're the most important. They're the most important because
no. They are the most vulnerable. Before Iron Man.
No, you don't. Oh my God! Yeah, here's what I'm saying. Your point might be true, but the reason they went for them first is once you have them, you can contaminate everybody else.
No. It wasn't a chronological attack. They all got attacked on the panels. It was.
Oh, you're saying in a joint battle they were the most.
Not even a joint battle. They all got attacked at the same time in different spaces. Iron Man, Reed Richards, Wolverine. I forget who this is all in one panel. And the only people who lost their fight was the dude who stretches and he got shot by his own gun and friggin' Iron Man.
So I think this is more of your. This is like the times you used to hate on Spider-Man.
No. This is the time when you start risen up for these guys. You just can't admit that the guy who stretches isn't a threat. Now, the only time Reed Richards has ever been a threat is when he came from the Cancerverse. That version of Reed Richards.
Well, I'm saying, stretching is not the great. I don't think it's a useless power, but it's not the greatest power. Yes, I agree with that. His real threat is his science mind and the crazy things he can build. But and trust me, I ain't never defending Iron Man. I like the movie Iron Man, but here's what I'm saying. I'm glad he's dead,
right?
And I don't want him to come back.
Are you pumped up for Ironheart at all?
Not at all. Not in the slightest.
Did you like the Riri episode in What If?
No, I didn't. You know what it is? I hated most of this season of What If. I thought the choices that they made were so weird. Like the Riri episode was like, what if Tiamat destroyed the Earth?
Yeah, and
it was just such a weird choice to focus on her as the main character of that episode. And
who cares? Like, who cares what she's doing in the Fallout? Who cares?
So here's what it's so funny that I saw this analysis long before Marvel movies even came out, before superhero movies were all the rave. And it was like this. Somebody had done an analysis of why when you switch out a sidekick, it's people either reject it or they love it, right? Yeah. And so like an example is in Flash. Kid Flash, his nephew also gets the Flash Force. He was adventuring by his side, also just like Batman and Robin. Right. These guys were adventuring the comics with him forever, for mad years. So finally, when the Flash dies in Crisis, everyone loves it that Wally West takes over as Flash because he's earned it. Just like when Batman eventually died, everybody loved that Dick Grayson got to be Batman. Even obviously, it was a gimmick. He comes back within a year, but like still, and this is the problem. You cannot have a character that has not been established in any way take over for Iron Man.
No reason for us to care. And it's the same problem with Miles Morales as Spider-Man. I'm sorry, bro. There's, that suffers the same death. But we digress, man. Fantastic Four. We're going to go check it out. Are you going to go check it out? Let us know what you thought of the trailer. Beck says it's white as snow. And, listen, what we mean by white is not actually like white people. It's just got a sense of stability to it. Like, it's got a good line. It's got a good line.
I think that was even a looser comment. You said white is defined as stability?
No. I said that's not what I said, you psycho. I'm saying the movie just has a sense of stability and a good line of credit. It makes, bologna sandwiches.
He said a good line of credit. It's wild. I love it, though. I love it. Because all those things are true.
It's always there Wednesday nights at 8 p.m.
It comes on time.
Yeah.
It's never been fired from its job for fighting. No, I'm just
It was, however, at a very complicated rally that turned bad on January 6th. Oh,
but we went too far. You got any other stories?
Give me one sec. You know what? I was going to talk to you about one thing, and before we wrap, and maybe it'll just be a quick, quickie, as it were. Your girl, Brett Cooper. Your girl, Brett Cooper, killing it right now, man. Brett Cooper is.
You know, it's funny that it's so funny you say that, because she's annoying the hell out of me.
See, there it is. Did not call this, folks. Did I not call this, man? This guy.
Here's what it is. Her new show, she needs a producer, and I think she doesn't think she needs a producer. A lot of the time, she's just doing run-on sentences.
That was the entire show before, bro.
No, she paced herself, and she showed clips. She shows clips in this one, but far less often. Bro. And I just wanted her to sometimes show proof.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other day, she was going over the Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively thing, which I don't even care who's right in that instance.
No, nobody cares.
And she was making all these claims, but she never showed any video or any content that might prove the claim she was making. And so I was like, sloppy reporting, Brett. Sloppy reporting.
Listen, Brett Cooper doesn't need to prove anything to you, man. She's got 3.5 million views on her second video. So the numbers went up as opposed to going down, which is a good sign. I mean, it's going to plateau at a certain point, but the numbers went up, man. She's a young lady, seems to be killing it. And let's talk about right-wing cancel culture. That was, episode. Yeah. It's she's doing good, man. She's doing good. So you're not happy with her?
No. I'm still watching her. Like, I watched her latest episode or whatever. It's not that, but I'm looking at it and I'm seeing production problems, and I was like, you need a producer. I think like she literally is just barfing into a mic, which is fun. Yeah. I do wish they were just more structured. You know what I mean? Like, because before at the Daily Wire, she had a script, she had producers. I'm sure the editors made sure she paced her.
No, man, those days are done, man. People want an organic experience with her now, man. They don't want a canned version of her. Now they just want her to spit that.
I even would love it if she had a theme song to me, even if it's just
oh my goodness. Oh wait, yes. We almost didn't talk about it. Thank you, Bex, for reminding us. Beyonce won Country Album of the Year. Who's this for? Is it for the culture? Who's it for?
Right, exactly. And so I have heard the argument. Here's like the main argument that I hear. People say Grammys aren't given out because of popularity. They're given out because of artists. Right. And her album might not have really been the best country, but it was the most artistic country.
Right.
And that just sounds like utter jive talk to me. Like, I was just staring at this person. This was another white person. And I was like, tell me more. Tell me more about this artistry. Right? And so, one of the girls, I think I told you at work, said that I was racist. And
Yeah,
so she was like, this. She didn't say I was racist. She just said, this is racism. Having that opinion is racism. And of course, it's at work. It's in the Slack that's owned by the company. I can't have this conversation with this girl. I'm going to get myself in trouble.
Right.
So I backed down, and this girl was so angry at the things I had that I was saying so far, and we were in the calm parts of a debate. She left the Slack channel. She's like, boom, the girl is like left, and I was like, okay. And so whatever, that's how pissed off the girl was. And so I want to first rebut the basic concept of somebody who rejects Beyonce as the greatest country of the year by pointing this one out.
Right.
And you know what it is most people who are probably saying that probably don't listen to country, so they don't know this fact.
Right.
There are already black people in country music.
Yeah.
Kane Brown has won all sorts of awards before, and he's a black man. Tanner Adele is a black woman. Shabuzi, he was up for Best Artist of the Year. He's a country music black man.
What about Hootie?
Oh, well, Hootie, yes. I don't like to think about Hootie, but okay. Yeah.
I'm saying That's not
Tracy
even-
Chapman was country. She was labeled as country in her day, right?
Tracy Chapman's a talented.
Yeah, and so what I'm saying is people are acting like Beyonce's the first black person to ever try to have a twangy guitar, and that is simply not true. And so the claims that
wait, let me correct you. Beyonce can't play the guitar.
She can't.
No,
she can't even play the guitar. What? Are you serious?
Yeah, when have you ever seen her play the guitar? Even in like the kid videos, man, when she was growing up. I don't think that's in her wheelhouse.
I just assumed she was accredited as such an amazing musician that she knew how to play the guitar. Is that an insane thing to assume?
Wait, I want to get back. No, I want to get back to your point. No, it's not an insane thing. So the young lady jumped out of your chat after screaming that you were racist because you said that. Do people understand what happens when you do that in the workspace? Like you can get someone fired. Like was her you didn't get an email from your boss or anything, did you?
No. But one of my other coworkers went and spoke to her, and she was like, I know. Basically, she pointed out, she was like, I know he doesn't look it, but Roy's black. His mother is black. And then that girl apparently, like, supposedly she was like, oh, okay, and then shut up about it. Which, however, that's another thing I don't like. You shouldn't have to pull your black card just to have the opinion someone didn't deserve an award.
Right.
So
no, I agree with you 100%, man. My point that I made on Mic Check the other night, thanks for tuning in, was that imagine if someone from the other side of the table came over to hip hop and won best hip hop album, but it's not a white rapper, right? It's not some white rapper that's been paying his dues forever. It was his first attempt at the genre itself and wins.
Right. If Morgan Wallen, who's a total country redneck or whatever, no offense, guys, he just decided he's like, I'm going to make a hip hop album. And then wins hip hop of the year, people would be enraged. Right. And so that is probably the difference because the three artists that I mentioned earlier, that are current black country music stars, they've been country their whole lives. So they have the street cred, right?
Yeah.
You know what it is? I don't think it's a color thing with her. I think it's that she doesn't have country street cred.
That's an interesting point, man. You know what? That's a very, yeah. She doesn't have any. I'm thinking, well, she did get a bunch of cosigns, right?
Yeah.
From old country stars. She doesn't have any country street credit. She's from, where is she from? Texas? Alabama?
She's from Texas, but I don't think everyone in Texas is a country you know what I mean? Like,
it's like interwoven, like cultural Christianity down there. Like, it's just like everybody's a Christian. Doesn't mean they're really Christians. Everybody,
but are they really a Christian, or are they just, or are they Donald Trump Christians, as I like to call them?
Oh, you're going there, man. But yeah, I don't understand. First of all, shout out to her for winning, right? Let me not take anything away from her. She won.
I agree.
This has nothing to do with her personally. This is my point with the whole Kendrick thing. It has nothing to do with Beyonce. It has to do with the people who are like, this is amazing. And I'm like, can I ask why it's amazing?
And is this one of those things where, because people complain about the Beehive and they say they're fanatics, like crazy fanatics.
Yeah.
Is this one of those cases that the Beehive won't let us have an opinion?
No, it's not just the Beehive. It's like, I know you don't like this, but I'm going to say it anyway. This all comes back to your boy. You know who I'm talking about. So we don't have to say
the T-Man.
The T-Man. The T-Man. This all comes back to him. Some people are saying this was the last DEI hire under the Trump.
That's a funny statement. That is really funny. But is that a retaliation? Like, they took the presidency, we're gonna take their country music.
It could be, man. It could be. Listen, what did Beck say? I think they gave her the album of the year because it made the most noise, also because her husband was whining about it earlier. This definitely won't happen again.
Yeah, because literally last year, Jay-Z got up and when he had a chance to speak, he's like, how is it not my wife? My wife's never won, you know, and he's going on about how she deserves it. That also kind of, I feel like, muddies the water of the legitimacy of this award.
Well, you know why she won, right? Because Adele didn't make a country album. Adele beat Beyonce more times than
oh, that would be hysterical if she had, though.
Adele releases a country album like not
and beats her
no more, like beats Beyonce again.
So she says, I was personally rooting for Billie Eilish. That Birds of a Feather song had me in a chokehold. Yeah,
Billie
not
Eilish
for country, but for album of the year.
Oh yeah.
Because I would have preferred Sabrina Carpenter or Billie Eilish winning.
Sabrina Carpenter can't sing. I don't understand why she deserves.
She's amazing. She's amazing in every way.
She can't sing, bro.
She can sing.
No, she can't. She's on the same train as Madonna and friggin' Janet Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know it was a sleeper hit last night. Did you know that Rhapsody, female rapper from Baltimore or Carolina, some weird place like that, won with Erykah Badu for best most melodic hip hop song? And then
okay.
We talked about something. I don't know if you stayed around on mic check for this one. Your boy Chris Brown won an award.
Yes, I knew. I did. Yes,
did you hear my segment?
He's still winning. He's still winning.
And Chris Brown won best R&B.
Right. You're like, you can utterly. I can't even joke around about this. What he did, right? We know what he did. It's horrible.
It's horrible.
He's never been canceled, and he continues just to win.
No, can't be stopped.
Cannot be stopped. But he can dance.
Man can dance.
He really can too.
It's the crazy thing. They tried to vote him off the island a bunch of times, and he's moonwalked right back on the island.
Right back on.
Feminists cannot cast this man out. Like what?
I know Bex is always trying to catch him on colorism. You're gonna have to do way better than colorism, because people caught him on beating his woman, and that didn't stick. So colorism, nobody's listening to that.
Wait, let me just say what Bex is gonna say before she says it, because you stepped right into it. It's because he was beating his woman, who's a black woman. But Bex, she's not a dark-skinned black woman, so I'm using your logic. Rihanna isn't dark enough to get our credit, man. She's not to get the protection.
Bex says the Scammies is full of bleep. Anyway, I don't know why you're still fretting over it. I'm not fretting over it. I just think it bears discussion.
Yeah.
That, like, I feel like I should be allowed to say she didn't deserve the award. And so, I don't think people should be able to pull you're a racist if you don't think everything Beyonce does is utterly magical. And another thing,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I have to say is this was messed up but funny. Did you see what Mark Dice's video was titled?
No, what?
He says Beyonce takes her next step in her strange transformation into a white woman.
Yes. Amen.
And
I see it too. I've been saying it for months.
If colorism is brought up, well, what's going on with Beyonce? Because she's somehow paler than she's ever been.
It's the blonde hair, man. It's the bleaching. Beck says his main fan base is black women. They are a lost cause. I've been gave up talking about Chris Brown. Like, yeah,
it's true. Yeah, they probably stand for him more than anybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see the pictures of them at the meet and greets. Have you ever seen the Chris Brown meet and greets when they're like taking pictures of him like holding their butts and sitting on his lap and stuff? Like they paid thousands of dollars to take these pictures with Chris Brown.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then Chris proving that he's not down with equality. I don't know if this is what it is. A dude of a certain persuasion tried to take one of those same type of pictures, and it's basically Chris just dapping him up.
Right.
Yeah. Like, whoa.
No, I respect that because what kind of music artist would be like, yeah, let's do a sexy picture. They're paying for it. I'm like, what are you, a whore? Are you a whore or are you a recording artist? Like, come on, bro. The Grammys, it is true. Bex brilliantly used the phrase the scammies, and it's true that out of all the awards, Jeremy, and trust me, all awards at the end of the day probably bought and paid for it. There's a lot of crap going on, but the one that is usually considered the least legit is the Grammys.
Oh, Bex, she's not lightening her skin. She was already light skinned, man. You put some blonde hair on that on top of her aging. Light skinned people get whiter as they get older. I'm sorry to say it, man. The older they get, the whiter they get. It just the oxygenation starts to fully take hold.
Yeah, I agree with you that as soon as you put on blonde hair on anyone, they will look lighter in skin. And so since she was already she was already fair-skinned black woman, she's going to look even
not say fair-skinned, man. It insinuates that if you're dark-skinned, you are not fair, that you're dark nature.
I'm sorry. I was just using a term. I didn't know that was like a sensitive term or whatever. Angry at me when I say coming out of the woodwork. Supposedly that's racist. I was like, I never got the memo.
Who's sending out the emails of all these things?
Well, liberals.
Liberals. Yeah. Bex says I was mainly talking about lightning and like pictures and stuff. Oh yeah, I get you, Bex. I get you. Yeah, because only Nigerian pop artists lighten their skin.
And then Michael Jackson, but he started that.
Yeah, and Sammy Sosa.
But in general, another thing I gotta say that I hate about the Grammys is most of the Grammys are done off air, and they literally only gave away 9 awards in the 4 hours they were on, and the rest was all just performances. And don't get me wrong, I like performances, not for like 4 hours.
No, I don't watch the Grammys, man, and that's why I didn't want to do the show on that night because I was like, let everyone enjoy their night, and then Monday night I was like, it's the Grammys. And then Tuesday I was like, all right, now that I'm fueled. But we got to talk about something else before we wrap, right? Kendrick Lamar happened exactly the way I thought it would. He swept everything, then wore a Canadian tuxedo up on the stage. Some people say that was a shot at Drake.
I think it was.
Drake and some other dude released their new album, same night, and it's going to be premiering the night when Kendrick does the Super Bowl. But they not like us. Can we just be real, man? The realest thing I've done this year has I'm going to keep pointing out this fact that that is not the greatest hip hop song ever made. It's not. It's not. Bro. It's
here's what I'm saying.
Squabble Up is that. I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, bro, what is happening right now? But anyway,
I don't know if you noticed something about Riz Radio. I'm admitting this on the air right now. I'm admitting this to our fans right now.
Yeah.
I am so disenchanted by Kendrick's latest album that I'm not even giving it airplay. I did not put any of those tracks in there. You know why? They are bum ass tracks.
Bro, listen to me. Somewhere right now, if there was someone that cared enough, they could clip this up and say, look at these two Ofays, not blah, 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 blah. Nah, man, let me give you some real hip hop knowledge, man. It's just, for me, it's not made for me, and I'm okay with that. I've never been a huge, I don't even want to call it G-Funk. I've never been that type of West Coast hip hop, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just not my bag, man. Kendrick Lamar, congratulations. I do want to focus on what I should focus on. He is on the most iconic award tour that any hip hop artist has been on. I don't think They Not Like Us is the greatest diss track ever, like I said on the show the other night, but we've never seen an award run like this after a diss track. I've never seen winning like this after a diss track.
This is epic. This is an achievement of its own. Yeah, and I've been wondering why that is, because you are right. It's not the sickest beat. Like, you can tell he didn't pay a lot of money for that beat.
No,
right? And so somehow it becomes a huge hit. And is it just that people are really enjoying Drake take it on the jaw? That's how much they love it.
Yes, people love to see giants fall, man. And I never thought Drake was that, but man, people love it, man. I'm just telling you. But this, you got to give him his props, man. Super Bowl. He's got an interview going on Apple Radio.
Coming around again. I totally forgot Super Bowl. He's going to be in the Super Bowl, and we're going to have massive exposure to him dissing on Drake.
Bro, this is probably, and I'm making a joke here, so I don't want any of my Christian fans to get angry. But I gotta feel like this is how Lucifer felt after Jesus was resurrected. He's like, "You're kidding me."
Right, the winning that your enemy is doing. It's like
stop.
Beck says, I just want black people to stop begging for handouts.
Oh.
And she says,
"Oh, I got you, Beck. I got you." I was like, I'm like, oh.
fix them damn EBT awards.
Yeah, the
Oh my
awards, man, it's no bueno at all. Here's the problem, though, man. The Source Awards weren't that much better, Bex. I don't know. You're from around near our generation, and you remember the Source Awards. At least you go to the BET Awards, and you're just like, this is stupid. You go to the Soul Trains Awards, like, this is stupid and old. You go to the Source Awards, you can get shot.
Yeah, you get shot. You have to come correct. You come with a vest and you come stagecraft. You and your whole crew have to do it at the Source Awards.
Like, we all gonna die tonight when we get this award.
Yeah, like, it's not a Source Awards that at least one person has to get shot, right?
Yeah. Bex is still hating on Drake. Says Drake had it coming. He be all right, though.
No. Because here's what I'm saying. I do think he had it coming, but what Steve is saying, and he pointed out so brilliantly, is like, this isn't just a regular diss track, right?
No,
when Jay-Z and Nas were dissing, diss tracks were only people in the subculture were actually sharing it, listening to it. This has become a mainstream hit, right? It's mad radio play.
Yeah, you listen to me. The only other time I've seen this, but it wasn't near this scale, was when 50 Cent, again, rest in peace, Irv Gotti, but when he banished the entire Murder Inc. record label, that was like a 2-year long. That's the first time I've seen people turn on someone, like a movement. You remember when people turned on Ja Rule? It was like a movement.
Right.
But that was still very much in the urban experience. It was on the radio stations, our radio stations. This is on ABC News. It's everywhere.
This is on ABC News. This dude won a Grammy. He won 2 Grammys for calling Drake a pedo. This is crazy. The embarrassment that Drake must be feeling. Oh my God. I promise you, Bex. She's like, oh, he's all right. He'll take it. No, I promise you, at least one night, probably multiple nights, Drake has cried himself to sleep. I absolutely promise you that.
There's a very good chance this song is going to be played at the Super Bowl. After that, you don't even need to play it again after that. After it's the Super Bowl, which, by the way, what do you think the next day, the day after the Super Bowl, the commentary on the Super Bowl performance is usually the most talked about thing in conservative spaces. What do you think it's going to be like when there's a bunch of fools crip walking during the season? Do you think he's going to go there? You think he's going to have fools crip walking?
Well, that's a question. I don't even know. Is Kendrick a performer? Is he a performer or is he just a rapper? That's the question I have.
That's a good question. I don't think I've ever watched any of his live stuff before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's known for his live stuff. Like, like if you're talking about Lil Wayne, if you're talking about like anyone like Eminem or Dre, these guys are performers. They're going to go all out. I don't know. Even his videos aren't that energized, Kendrick. You know what I mean?
So I'm trying to think. I gotta look that up. You know what? I know that a lot of people really enjoyed the show, the pop-up show he did right after the dismantling of Drake, and then everyone came out and started crip walking and blood walking on the stage. But again, that's like urban in context, black people, LA context more specifically. I don't know. I posed this question during mic check. What are people more excited for, the halftime performance or the game? Usually people are very excited for the halftime performance. Seems like a lot of people are excited about it now, but it's not a lot of women like it was before. That's who, last year. Who performed last year? Was it Shakira?
I don't remember these things. I don't remember these things. And that's a funny thing is we don't remember last year or the year before or anything like that. But we will remember that. We will remember Kendrick no matter what he does, right?
This is it, man. This is it. Now, what do you think if Drake performs at the...
Wait, last year was Usher, right?
Was it Usher? It was Usher, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good time. Good wholesome.
That was a good time. And he, once again, a performer, right? He was singing and dancing and doing crazy stuff. It was a good time.
Yeah, nobody got herpes.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. But yeah, after the Grammys, we'll now call them the Scammies, and for now on, I'm going to focus on just award ceremonies that are genre specific.
Yeah,
Country Music Awards.
Yeah.
Is there a Rock and Roll Awards? Who has a Rock and Roll Award? Is that a thing?
I was wondering. I looked at it on the AP Associated Press, and I didn't even go when I know rock is a thing. I'm not going to be that guy. Like, is rock still relevant? But we're all thinking it, right?
I think it could be dead. Who would have thought that hip hop outlived rock, right?
Well, hip hop is taking the same trajectory right before rock. But anyway,
I don't even know what these young guys are spitting anymore.
No,
I'm like, was that a hip hop track or what was it?
There's a great indie rock scene for sure. You can find there's still great music. I'm just talking about on a commercial level. I don't know.
Right.
Like,
because we've got pop rockers, but they're on pop stations. They don't, like the Jonas Brothers are pop rock, right? They may play guitars, but at the end of the day, they're
not rock, though, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's not real rock.
Yeah.
I don't even know anymore, but I'm gonna look this up at some point.
You should do a show about it. Usher and Alicia off keys.
Oh, look at you taking shots. What did you think of her comments about DEI this year?
Who?
Alicia.
No, what'd she say?
Oh, she was like, when she won, like, one of those lifetime achievements, whatever they call them. Each award ceremony calls it a different thing, but it's basically a lifetime achievement.
Right.
She was like, Alicia Keys was like, DEI is not our enemy. DEI is our gift.
Okay. So maybe I haven't made this clear in regards to my views on DEI, right? I think in certain industries and instances, we all need to remember that there's a reason affirmative action was implemented, right? Because a fair chance wasn't given to capable people. Here's what I'm going to say. Don't quote me on this, or quote me. I don't care. The people who benefit most from DEI aren't even from our community. So There you go. They're white.
Yeah. It's held over our heads all the time.
Listen, I want black people, brown people, yellow people, to have the opportunity to be in the room. You just can't guarantee everyone the outcome. And that's the crux of this thing, right? I want people to have the opportunity. I can't guarantee you the outcome, and you take a good thing and you politicize it. You let the wrong people get involved. Listen to your Uncle Steve. You let the wrong people get involved, and they start attaching their stuff to the bandwagon, and people start getting mad at those people. So now they're mad at us. And then look, who's losing, right?
Right. The grifters got too greedy, and they milked the DEI too much to the point where you're like, you guys got crazy. You could have milked it forever, but instead they just milked the crap out of it till it fell over dead.
I saw a great meme the other day where it's like some rural American white guy sitting on a friggin' couch. He's like, now that the DEI is dead, I'm gonna get me one of them high-paying tech jobs.
Right, exactly, as if that's gonna happen. That's hysterical. But I want to speak real quick. As a Christian, this is the part of the episode where I become a judgmental Christian. I want to talk about idols for a second. And so I feel like what Alicia Keys was doing was speaking as if DEI itself is an idol. And I think that's bizarre that people make a political policy, their idol, where they're like, we need to protect this at all costs. It's more important than anything. It's more important than gold or lives, or and another artist did it earlier in the thing. Chapel Roan, she was like, trans people are real. We need to not mess with trans people. And then she goes, trans people and their right to be who they are need to be protected above all other rights.
Ooh. And
I was like, okay, I understand you're into the trans thing, but like above everything? What are you talking about? Like, even if someone thinks that's important, they think it's more important than anything.
Everything.
That's crazy, right? That's a crazy statement.
Yes, I heard an interesting take. A woman came up to Charlie Kirk and said, if you can get rid of abortion by reinstating slavery, would you do that? And Charlie Kirk was like, what type of stupid question is that? He's like, no, I wouldn't do that. You know, alluding to he wouldn't condone one evil to justify another evil.
Right.
And the girl's like, I'm just asking the question. And he's like, if you could rid the world of human suffering, but you had to give up abortion, would you give it? And she said no.
Oh! But are you serious? This is the insanity. This is it's insane where we're at this point. Where like everyone easily turns things into idols. Where that what a concept, whatever they're obsessed with, is more important than anything, including logic.
But you
wouldn't trade abortion for the end of suffering.
The crazy thing was, I'm sure in her mind those two things were exactly the same. Like, well, you didn't want to reinstate slavery. Wait, but human suffer. Jesus, God is white. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it just disintegrates into madness.
that is insane. That is insane. But I do believe it. It's like it's unbelievable on one end, but now that I'm letting it compute it totally, I do believe that people are like that. As we all know that a lot of people believe that like the most important issue was abortion to them in their mind.
Right.
And they think everyone else should feel that same way. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Listen, man, I'm just here to make sure you guys don't go too far off the crazy train. I'm at a certain point, man, it's just like, I don't want fame. I don't want any of that stuff, man. I just want to be able to say, let's just not go too crazy. Lenny Kravitz is still alive. Rock isn't dead.
You heathens.
Okay. Next, we're talking about mainstream success right now. Lenny Kravitz is on the Icon tour. I'm not sure if he has a residency yet, but he should. You get what I'm saying? I love Lenny Kravitz, man, but he should definitely have a Vegas show, I would think, at this point in his career, right? And stop exercising in leather tights.
I'll tell you this, as a radio mogul, I'll say this from the knowledge point in terms of the rock situation. In modern day, unless you find some niche, usually college station that will have metal or something like that, usually the only rock stations you'll ever find in major cities you'll see classic rock. And then a new thing that's been springing up is alternative rock stations that just play like 90s and early 2000s alternative rock.
Right.
But ultimately, there's no rock, if you know what I mean.
Rock.
Yeah. So I think it's done. But
anyway, let's get the heck out of here, man.
Well, before we get out of here, there is one story that I didn't want to do to this week. And so you mentioned it, and it's been on the tip of my tongue forever. And so you mentioned that you were like, it's a shame that we couldn't have Shaolin Iceboxer on this. And it's been too long since we've had Shaolin on this show. Right. And so I'm the one I want to submit to you, this story that I want to save for next week. And I am hoping Shaolin takes us up on our offer to be on this show next week.
Right.
Is the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Which is the new animated series. Right now, 5 episodes are out. They're putting out 2 a week. So by the time we have our next show, there'll be 7 episodes to bite into.
Well, next show would fall on the same night that we're going to see Captain America.
Oh, well, fuck that. So then, you know what? We might even, if we're doing the next week after that, we'll probably the whole series will be out.
Yeah, it's only 10 episodes. I can binge watch it and then get into it.
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna, letting you guys know the reason why I'm making such a big deal about this, and I really want Shaolin in here, is I want Marvel heads here to talk about all the cameos and Easter eggs. But I will tell you, I am really enjoying it.
You know what? A lot of people are. It's got great reviews, man. And like I said, there is a path for victory here for Marvel, as long as we're willing to look at it from the right lens, and so are they. And that lens does not include certain social political commentary. You gotta know when to let it go, man. You just gotta,
right. Yeah, just let it go. Let a thing be a thing.
Just that's why there's HBO. You know what I'm saying? That's where people go watch deeper You know?
Exactly. Absolutely. I agree.
Brother, the folks can catch me every Sunday and every Tuesday now, enjoying my new schedule. Much more conducive with my old man lifestyle. Sundays and Tuesdays, mic check.
He's sitting in his rocking chair and talking about hip hop, and he's trashing a lot of the hip hop community as well over on Mic Check with Steve, real name, no gimmicks, over on Riz Radio.
We rolled out a new segment called New to Me Tuesdays. That's what it is. Music that's new to me, man. Some of it, I played a song that was 2 years old. I'm like, this can't be 2 years old, is it? And I'm like, it is. I've never heard this song before. So having a great time doing that. Make sure you tune in. Come have some fun, man. Got some articles coming out. Some spicy articles in regards.
Stuff is happening. Stuff is finally happening. You know, new music is coming out. I'm really happy for that. During like the holiday season, they like there's a stagnation of new music and new drama basically. And so finally we're getting more of that. So our blog is exploding, our social medias are exploding. And another thing is it's very important that on Saturday and Sunday at 6 p.m. you tune into Riz Radio, because then you can catch me, the Fat Mantis, on Burn Your Degree, where I make you question all the answers you've ever been told. And I plus play today's best music, but I also throw some K-pop and some weird synth in there too. It gets bizarre, but it's a good time. And I hope to see you guys there. That is 6 to 10 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays over at rizradio.com.
It's good for your soul, man. Just get over there, man. Come enjoy some radio. Podcasting is nothing but radio. That's all it is. Podcast is radio.
Except we also have cool music. So there you go.
There you go.
But anyway, I've had a great time. Did you have a good time?
Had a great time, man.
This is the Fat Mantis and
Steve, really no gimmicks.
Signing off. Until next time.
Peace.